Figure out how I see. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna go to my, so I can see comments. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, how is everybody? Oh, wait, that's not gonna work. Okay, now let's see. So, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah, my lights are bright. So let me answer some questions. So I just wanted to come on tonight, and you guys can ask me anything. Is it still? Am I still echoing, Ari? Thank you so very woke. What brand color is my pink wall? It's a fuchsia color. It is actually, I have a what is it called? Oh, I think it's called XOXO is the name of it. I didn't realize that. That's kind of cute. All right, let me make sure if you had to wear one fragrance for the rest of your life, which one would it be? Amazing Grace philosophy. I say that all the time. If I could only have one, it would be Amazing Grace. Tamaya, hey Tamaya, Lady of Love 60, Glow by Edith. Which perfume would you repurchase in a heartbeat if you used it up? Amazing Grace and Interlude Woman. Absolutely. When you are considering buying a perfume to layer, what base notes do you consider? I don't think I ever really buy perfumes for the purpose of layering. And if I do, they're usually like single note type fragrances. Vanille Fatale. Oh, I love your name and I love that fragrance too. Thank you. How did you become so free to share so much painful, intimate details about your life? Um, it's my life. I mean, I think, when you realize that everybody has some stuff and a lot of people just aren't willing to share their stuff. And once I started learning how to live and be my true self, then it was easy for me to share the things I've gone through in my life. They make me who I am today. Bridget Beckett. Ooh, what are my top three Killian fragrances? Oh, my top three are um Back to Black, absolutely. Um uh what is the Liaison's Dangerous? And probably now I would have to say Angel Share is definitely in my top three Killians. Absolutely. Because Angel Share is amazing. JC Russell, do you love men's cologne? Yeah. I think fragrance is genderless. I mean, I wouldn't wear Old Spice. I wouldn't wear Brute or Old Spice, but yeah. What is your advice for someone who is dealing with the family member who they love the most being emotionally abusive to the point where I have no energy or willpower to do anything anymore. Well, I always say you teach people how to treat you, and you only stay in situations that you shouldn't be in or that don't make you feel good because you have no place else to go. And if that's your situation, then you got to work on having someplace else to go. But I don't believe just because it's family you have to put up with abuse. That's definitely not the case. Not at all. Which Zerjoff fragrance would you recommend for a woman just starting out? Oh, if you're just starting out, I would say go to the Cosmomarati line and do like Bouquet Idea or La Tosca. Sean Brown, welcome to your first live. I'm trying to get caught up. Teresa, how do you keep up with the shelf life? I don't. I use my fragrances. You just you use them. People ask me that, aren't they gonna spoil? Aren't they gonna go bad? Use them. If you have them, use them. Like I don't really have special occasion fragrances. I just if I have it, I'm using it. I'm using it to go to Dollar General or Walmart, wherever I'm going. I wear my fragrances. Doses of uniqueness. I love Lost Cherry. Absolutely. And do I like celebrity fragrances? I do. Um, I like some of Rihanna's fragrances, like Rebel Fleur. Um, I like what's the other Rihanna in the square bottle? I can't think of the name of that one. I like that one. I like a few celebrity fragrances. At Queen Bee. Yeah, Cicely. That's so sad. Like, don't you just feel like someone close to you passed away? That's so crazy. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it. She was just on TV the other day. So it's so crazy. That just goes to show you it can happen just that fast. Here today, tomorrow, you could be gone. What book are we reading? Doses of Uniqueness. You know what? To be honest, we're not reading right now. I'm taking a class. I'm not gonna say we're not reading, but I'm taking a class, and so that's like all I have time to read. Right? Y'all hear the dogs? A siren just went by. Yeah. So all I have time to do right now is study. It's a lot. I saw someone ask me, where'd it go? How to let your partner lead or do things. I'm a DIY type when you've been single for so long. I'm 41, he's 53. Nicole, I'm a DIY type as well. I struggle with that, but I'm really getting better about letting my husband do his man thing. Um, and lead and me sit down somewhere. I can do so many things. Like I if my tire went flat, I could change my own tire. But if you're in a relationship with someone, you just have to like as much as it'll kill you sometimes, you have to just sit back and you have to let them lead. Let the man be the man. Let him be the head of the household and tell him that's all things included now. That means the bills and everything. I need you to lead. A video on how to be feminine after being in the army for 30 years for my sister. Please and thank you so much. I could do that. I bet that's hard. I've been around a lot of military people, and I tell you guys all the time that I used to have a lot of masculine energy as well. So you can switch it up. It's not easy, but you can definitely switch it up. What are you drinking? I am having a gentleman jack actually this evening. I said I've had a long week. I was like, let me maybe I should have a cocktail. Mighty strong. Emotional abuse is just as terrible as physical abuse. Yeah, if not worse, because sometimes people who are being emotionally abused, they don't know that they're being emotionally abused, and they don't know until it's too late the effect that it actually has had on them. Abuse of any kind. Do I have? Yeah, I do use Aztec clay. I just talked about that in my video the other day. Yeah. On my face and in my hair as well. In my real hair. Hey, Sandra. Queen B. Ari Mass Cass. Hey. Queen B, what is the most exquisite and expensive perfume that I own? I just got the most expensive perfume that I have ever paid for the other day. The most expensive. Do I keep empty bottles? Never. No. I don't have space. I don't have any space at all. Your Listerine vinegar is a yeah. That Listerine and vinegar get them feet right, right? What dating strategies would you recommend for women in their 50s looking for a serious relationship? Running into men looking for just a person, nurse, or a therapist. I love that. I say know what you want and know what you deserve, but I also would say stay away from younger men. That would be mine, because younger men are the ones typically looking for a person, nurse, or a therapist. So, and I would say go to places where mature, well established men hang out, men that have their own purse, so to speak. Natural Empress, she lived a full life. She did. She was amazing, and I hope to be half that old to get to be half her age, because she lived an amazing life. How you get your teeth so white? I don't know. I use what is that in the red tube? But I actually did a whitening at the dentist, but it's been like before COVID started when I went to the dentist and did that. My beverage of the night. I'm having gentleman. Gentleman Jack. Is my husband retired? No. Absolutely not. He should be. But no, he's not. My husband actually said that he's never going to retire. He said he's going to work until the day he can't work anymore. So, There's a fragrance. Yeah, Hot Lux is 4K. I have a mini sample. It's just really nice, but not worth 4K. Yeah, I like Hot Lux. It's very expensive. I'll probably, well, I won't say I'll probably never own it, but um 4,000 for a fragrance, yeah, that's a lot of money. I can think of so many things I could do with 4K. How how many bottles could I buy with 4K? A lot. Yes, guys. Thank you, Natasha. Don't forget the thumbs up. Did Santa bring it? No, he didn't bring me my Bentley. He didn't. Raja means red in Spanish. I didn't know that. Vanille Fatal, what's your favorite cardamom fragrance? Ooh, that's a hard one. I have so many with a good cardamom note in them. So many. Al Harriman Menage Rouge. No, I've never smelled that one. I only have two is I think only two fragrances from that house. Nails place. Have you ever mixed your fragrances? Actually, all the time. I like to call myself the queen of blend. I just I just figured out. I write them all down. I keep them in this little handy dandy book right here. And the other night I did one. Let me find it. I have to tell you guys this one. Cause I think I told someone else. I was like, oh my god, I mixed these two fragrances and it was amazing. I love to play around with mixing. Oh, I mixed Unknown Pleasures and um African Queen. And African Queen is by what is that? Is it Josat fragrances? But I mixed those two together and it was so nice. I need to do a review on those Josat fragrances. Do you buy Valentine's gifts for your husband? Okay, that's a good question. Listen, so I just had a conversation with a friend of mine, and she told me she doesn't buy anything for her husband for Valentine's Day because it's a woman's holiday. And I was like, really? Because the answer, yes, I do. I get my husband stuff every year for Valentine's Day, and he gets me stuff. And I was like, I never looked at it like that. So, is there anybody in this chat room that feels like Valentine's Day is a woman's holiday? Men especially. I want to know really if how do men feel about this? Because I was like, wow, I never heard that. Royalty Miss, thank you. Someone just starting out with makeup and skincare. Keep it simple. Don't start jumping from makeup to makeup and playing in all kinds of skincare. Learn your skin type first of all and do what works for you. Where do mature older men hang out? At work? That's where they should be hanging out. Work? No, work, home. Sometimes they belong to social clubs, business functions. I saw somebody say at Cheryl Burnett, but I didn't see Cheryl. But hey, Cheryl. Glenmorangie 18-year-old Scotch. I'll have to try that. Dossier. I don't have any Dossier fragrances. Are those, is Dossier clones? Have I ever used retinol? Never used retinol. If you guys ask me a question and I miss it, then just come back, ask me again. Okay, so Frenchin says her husband doesn't get Valentine's gifts. Okay. Hubby always says it's a holiday for women, but I do buy him a gift as well. Okay, this is good to know because I always go out for my husband on Valentine's Day. So I might have to tell him, I just learned this is a woman's holiday. Amani Edwards, thank you. My favorite perfume for under $100. Um, Again, Amazing Grace. Um, what else for under $100? There are a few things. Juliet Has a Gun, not a perfume. Um, oh, you know what? I have two cheapy pleasures, guilty pleasures that I absolutely love. One is Dolce and Gabbana Three Limpartis. Love that. I've always loved that in the summertime. I love to cover myself in that. And then Perry Ellis 360 Coral. Those are two of my favorite cheapies. Love those two. DC Undeniable. I bought Lagerfeld for my 22-year-old son. His first real fragrance. That's like always gonna be a love of mine. I love Lagerfeld on men. I love smelling it on men. Vanille Fatale. I don't like geranium. Like I don't like strong geranium notes. Um, there aren't a lot of notes that I really can say I despise. It typically is how they're in a fragrance. DC Undeniable got a compliment about philosophy. Amazing Grace. all all love hair. Can you reply? All love hair. Are you messaging me? How long do you think you should keep your perfumes? That depends on you. I have my oldest fragrance that I have is now 26 years old. So that's how it depends on how you store them, how you take care of them. Sometimes they get better with age. Valentine's Day is for both, Patricia Brown. Where you shop most of your clothes. I don't really have a specific place. You guys have probably seen like I'll shop everywhere. I'll shop at the Goodwill, I'll shop consignment, Target, wherever I can get good stuff that I can put together well. I like good clothes, well made clothes. All love hair. There were so many messages. All love, if you're trying to email me regarding business, probably not on my live. I order Tom Ford Orchid Soleil and it smells like tortilla chips. Yeah, I don't like that fragrance. And also that fragrance sprays out of the bottle like this. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it sprays out like an orange color. I sprayed it one day when I was actually in the store on me, and it got all over my shirt. Riley asked, how many fragrances do I own? I don't know now. I could tell you this, not half as many as I did, because someone asked me the other day, did I thin down my collection? And I absolutely did. I got rid of so much stuff, like all of my, like I had that Elizabeth Arden's green tea, practically the whole line. I have a whole bin of stuff that I'm going to be getting rid of. So, yeah. I got rid of everything that um I just wasn't wearing. But there's nothing exciting in the bundle. It's just like um cheapies, really. What you do differently to get a good husband. Do dating tips to get a good quality husband. Hold on, before I answer that question, Jonathan. I think she would be pissed. Listen, you know what? Jonathan just asked if his wife would be mad if he got her some Avon for Valentine's Day. Now, Jonathan is one of the founders of the Fragrance Kings, so he's playing. But look, y'all, this goes to show I don't discriminate. What is this? This is Avon. I bought some Avon. My husband has a one of his customers sells Avon, and he brought an Avon book home, and I was like, let me try some of this stuff and see what's going on. I can't wait to tell y'all how I feel about this stuff here. I have four of them. This is only two. I also have some of these right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah, so okay, somebody asked me what did I do different to find a good husband. Um, I worked on myself. I changed myself, and I stopped overlooking people that I was overlooking previously because I was looking for something, and I was looking for two somethings that I was never going to find. I was looking for something that I was not. You're never going to get something that you are not. And I was looking for something that was probably unrealistic. So, honest truth. All love. I have received your wig, all love. Yes. Actually, we good? Review coming soon. Oh. Take us shopping with you. Yeah, I want to do that. You guys, you know what my problem is with that though? Sometimes people people are sometimes really touchy when you come up in the store and you got your camera or whatever, and they're kind of flipping out about that. But I talked to some people at a store that I really like to go to, and they were like, yeah, they're gonna try to find me a good day to come in there and do what I do and record. Because sometimes people are just like, oh, you're recording in here, and people get uptight. Even though there are cameras, people are recording everywhere you go now. Avon makes great bubble bath. Absolutely. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. I mean, a ladies over 40 finding a husband of means. I'm going to do that. Lovejoy says, I think 540 lacks a certain freshness. Yeah, it's cloying. It's sticky. It's thick. Absolutely. Would you make a giveaway? Oh, love, you want me to give this wig away? Avon since last 2 seconds. Plasma Picasso. Everything else turns spicy on my skin. How do you determine the right fragrance for you? Where's the best place to apply it? Um, I think you have to kind of just play around with different fragrances to figure out what works on your skin and what doesn't work on your skin. Sometimes there are just certain notes that don't work well on certain people's skin. Um, where do you apply fragrance? I apply fragrance everywhere. The only place I don't put fragrance is directly on my neck. And that's because Mr. Raja Dove told me or well, he didn't tell me, but he said that causes wrinkles. So I don't do that. But everywhere else is all skin is fair game. All skin. At Lakeisha Harris, he started out perfect. The minute he got comfortable, he changed and become a stingy workaholic, not attentive. I'm glad I finally woke up. My mom got my name from an Avon book in the 80s. So let's talk. Do you guys think that people switch up in relationships? Do men switch up in relationships? Or do we just ignore the signs? Like, do we, because sometimes we see people, we meet guys, and we're like, he chooses food with his mouth open, but he's cute, and, and he treats me nice, even though people who chew with their mouth open irritate you into oblivion and beyond, but we just like ignore things like that. I think you can kind of tell when a man is stingy, when he's cheap. But typically we can bring them out of that. But I think more so than people change, I think people are who they are, and they can hide it for a minute, but when we see the signs, we just play blind. We just ignore what's going on around us. Tania, yeah, we hope we can change men. Absolutely. And we can't. There are some things about men that we could change. They like to wear Wranglers. You can get them to wear Levi's or, things like that. But personality traits, behaviors, all that type of stuff, cheaters, women, you can't change that. Positive motivations with Bree. Hello. Ooh, Irie Mass, best perfumes that came out in the 90s. I have a few of them. Exclamation, Navy. So many. Both sides, fake things a bit in the beginning. Yeah, but even though people fake things, people can, be real deceptive about behaviors and things like that, but not for long. Not for long. And sometimes we just ignore our little spidey senses. More videos about dating. What's Lovejoy was 273. Country gal, in hindsight, I ignored the signs. I'll admit it. Yeah, that's always what happens. Like we ignore the signs and we think even when we know what's going on, we're like, I can deal with that. You know, you bring it to their attention and you're like, hey, you know, I really don't like when you do X, Y, and Z. And he's like, okay, you know, I'll change it. And then we're like, okay, you know, he's going to change. It never happens. We never get fed up enough until, you know, the ish hits the fan. For someone who has been through an abusive relationship when they were 19 to 20 and is now almost 30 years old and has a horror of dating with other people. Positive motivations with Bree. Heal. Heal your broken self. Heal. You gotta heal. Gotta do the work. Because if you don't heal, everybody that you date is going to be the abusive relationship that you were in when you were 19, 20 years old. Everybody. So you gotta heal. Lay Towns, what men's colognes do I recommend as a gift? Oh, I just told someone this earlier. Like, if you want to get a guy a cologne, if he's not a fraghead, if he just likes to smell nice, I would say Sauvage, Blue Day Chanel. If you want to get, you know, you want to blow a small bag on him, you could get him Oud Wood, Tom Ford Oud Wood. I don't feel like you could go wrong ever with that one. Natural Impress. I think people switch up. People will say and do anything to get what they want. We all do. Thank you, Jesse J. Yeah, we all say and do anything to get what we want in the beginning, especially. Teddy the Trucker, hello. The Epiphany 101. Which Ite Libre d'Orange fragrance do you have? I want to try out the house. Now the only one I have is Exit the King, which is I think is amazing in my opinion. I actually gave it to my husband though, but it's really amazing. It's like soap bubble clean, fresh, really nice. Um, I had You or Someone Like You, and I got rid of that. I have a few Ite samples though, but I love Exit the King. Do you go to church at home? Yeah, at home. Tanya Williams, Victoria's Secret perfume. I used to really love Very Sexy for her. I still like that. I just haven't seen it anywhere available in a very long time. Lady Lover, he wants to marry me and move to North Carolina. I love him, but can't bear the thought of leaving my grown kids in Cali. I'm 61, he's 66. Been around my kids all their lives. Him 16 months. Help. You love him? Okay, Lady of Love, I say this all the time. Now, um, how do your kids feel about you leaving? I would ask that first. But the thing is, like, children, you know, they get their loan to you for about a good 18 years in a normal situation. And then they go on and they have their own lives and they have children, they do their own things. And then it's do you time. If your boo thing is in South Carolina and he loves you and he wants you to be with him, if your children are at a point where they don't need you anymore, live your best life. That's how I feel. I would tell my mother if she knew the man. Now don't be going to South Carolina to see some man you'd met on Tinder. Just if you know the man and you trust him and he's been to where you are and y'all have met and all this type of stuff, live your best life. Your children will definitely understand. Issey Miyake, yeah. To Keisha Pickens, I think the overall roles have changed. We're making more money, are more educated, more successful. They pretend it's not a problem, but soon. Yeah, and this is a hard thing that's like going on in the world right now, right? Because in all actuality, it shouldn't it shouldn't be an issue, right? But it depends on who you're married to and what he wants from you. If you're married to a man who is looking for a wife to cook, clean, tend to the children, tend to him, then and you're career driven and you work just as hard as he does, and then it's going to be a problem. It's definitely going to be a problem. That's why I said in my video when I talked about negotiating your contract in the very beginning. Negotiate your contract, lay those expectations out on the table. Because you can't go into marriage not with you not knowing what your partner expects and your partner not knowing what you expect. Then people are just making up stuff as they go along. I talked about that, how I was just making up stuff. My husband was just making up stuff. And I was like, I ain't doing that. And he was like, I ain't doing that. So get those contracts tight. Miss T Todd, I recently retired from the military. Noticed I had to work on my feminine energy. Yeah, somebody just asked me to do a video about that. Women getting out of the military, and that's almost like you know trying to flip a switch off and on. That's hard. I've been around a lot of military people most of my life. Well, Sandra B, yeah, don't go back to him. Thank you, Chris from London. Tiffany Intense. That would be the one I would get. I wouldn't go with the original. I had the original. I got rid of it. I do like the Intense though. Leanna, I'm only known this man 2 months. He has a lot of money. He asked me to move in with him. He's 49. I'm 25. Should I go through with this? No. Tell him to put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Do not move in with a man after 2 months, especially just because he has enough money. And also, let me tell you something else. Do you love this man? Because if it's just a mere fact that he has more money, that it's going to be painful. It's going to get painful for you. So you have to have some type of connection, some type of feelings, care and concern, romantic feelings towards this man. I heard Dr. Phil say, like, a long, long time ago, many years ago, he said, if you're ever with someone for their money, you're going to earn every dime you ever get. You're going to earn it. It's going to be the worst job you ever had. Worst job ever. Leanna, tell him to, if he like it, put a ring on it. Demi, yeah. Lady of Love 60. That's what I said. Go have fun with your boo. Sheena 52. Do you wear all your perfumes? Every last one of them. Tiffany Roberts. How do you get past something you regret even though it keeps eating at your spirit? Forgive yourself. Because just like you have to forgive other people, you have to forgive yourself. Deal with it, forgive yourself, whoever else needs to be forgiven, move on. Leanna Ron. RUN. Let me go back. I'm Leanna, I saw, okay, you are 25 and the guy is, I think you said 50. I don't think I would do that if that was what I saw correctly. Um CC 25 looking into Amouage. Oh yeah, Amouage. I would say probably Blossom Love would be a good one to start with. Um Sample Sunshine Woman. I think that whole line, like Lilac Love, Blossom Love, and probably even, well, Honor Woman may be a little bit mature because it's extremely feminine, but it has a slight mature vibe to it. Mighty Strong, yes. Oh, he's 49 and she's 25. No, mm-mm. I wouldn't do it. Terracotta Kim, I would choose ombre leather. Yeah, that's exactly it. He wants the convenience of having you without the commitment. Anytime a man asks you to literally move in with him and he has not dropped down on one knee and proposed to you and then set a date with you, he's not serious about marriage. And you will probably be there and 5 years later you will still be asking this man, when are we going to get married? And you'll be cleaning his house and probably tending to his children if he's that age. Mm-mm. He's going to be controlling. I wouldn't do that. Talk about how being classy and chic doesn't equal looking elderly. People have the wrong idea. That would be a good video to do. Yeah, see, everybody in here is telling you, so you you know, don't do it. Do not do it. Cedric, I'm bored with designer. Should I step out? Yes, absolutely. Happens to everybody eventually. Absolutely. And I would start digging into some maybe like BDK fragrances. They're not like, I don't find them to be extremely expensive and they're good fragrances. Maybe Nishane, Mancera, Montal. Debbie says, "Get your education and date." Yeah, leave. She gonna leave that old man alone. Yeah, I did a whole video about that. So you need to go watch it. That's it. Go watch the video where I said, "Sis, is he too old for you?" And I gave like probably almost 10 questions that you need to ask yourself. Things you need to think about before you date a man that is much older than you. Go watch that video. Definitely watch that video. Cedric C. How did I know my husband was the one? I'm dating an older man. He is great. He encourages me to go for everything I want. I'm not sure if I'm making the right decision. Brother Adrian, I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Um, I think because I've kind of talked about before how I met my husband like probably 4 years before we got married, and maybe longer than that. And when I first met my husband, I very first met my husband, he said, "You're gonna be my wife." And I was like, no, 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 no. No, I was dating other guys. I was dating young guys. I ain't gonna lie. Um, and so I think then my husband, he always like hung in there. Like he would always call me. He was kind of letting me do my thing, letting me be me or whatever. But he would always keep in touch. He would always call me, "Hey, what are you doing?" And so one day he called me and he said, his word that he used was court. He said, "I would like to court you," meaning date for the youngins in the chat room. And I said, "Okay, we can court." So he started courting me, like, taking me out and all that type of stuff. And then I was done being crazy and done with the foolishness and running around and everything. I had cleared my mind, cleared my heart, my headspace and everything out. And then I could see him for who he really was, and realize and understand what he was to me. So sometimes you just have to have a clear headspace, and you just have to know and understand that sometimes what you want is not necessarily what you're going to get. And as long as you're busy looking for what it is you think that you want or you think you need, then you'll just be looking right over what is really there for you, what's meant for you. Now, Brother Adrian said, "I don't understand how a 49-year-old could look at a 25-year-old and think I want to date her. That's a baby." That happens every day, more often than not. Honestly, well, I won't say most. I'm not going to put a most on that. A lot of men who are in their 40s are looking for women who are in their 20s and early 30s to date nowadays. Ashley Petticoat, remove yourself from what is making you sad. Get a good therapist. I'm trying to get caught up here, y'all. Yeah, it happens. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes she's a bit mature. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes women can be mature when they're in their 20s. I think when I was, well, I don't know if I was that mature. When I was in my early 20s, I wasn't that mature. Now, maybe later on, in my late 20s, but men, especially if they're successful, if they have a lot of money, men who have a lot of money are very successful, they want young women. And like my husband, I mean, I look at my husband's friends or people that my husband does business with, um they're older guys, but all of their girlfriends or wives are much younger. um the one who has the most money has the youngest girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is. I don't know what she is. So, yeah. Hey, Carlene Green. Thank you. Natural interest. I do not agree with it. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's just the way of the world. And now, I mean, older single women who are dating now are kind of like they want to date younger guys too. So, And if they have money, well, they can. Now, if they broke, not so much. Not even men though. A broke 49-year-old man could not touch a 25-year-old girl with a 10-foot pole. Let's just be very clear about that. Ever. Takesha, we think we can handle things, but it will age you, and that's something that I talk about in my video. Is he too old for you? I talk about how, like, if you're not careful, like, they can suck the youth out of you. It happens. It really happens. And royalty, absolutely fall in love with a man that loves you more. Vicky, how much older is your husband? Vicky, my husband is 28 years older than me. 28. That's how I know. I know these things. When people ask me about dating older men, there's so much information I have to give because this has been my experience. I have lived this. My husband is actually not the first older guy that I've actually dated. So he's the oldest. I will say that. Younger women like older men with money. Velvet Vanilla. Yeah, Velvet Vanilla. I still do. Yeah, absolutely. Iana, so I've been married twice. I'm in a relationship now with a good guy. Marriage keeps coming up. I get nervous. He's never been married. I think I would probably prefer to marry a guy who has never been married. I honestly, if you've been married twice, Iana, I say major score. What you waiting on? Third time's a charm, right? Because if he's never been married and he's there, if you're not there, he's going to go to where marriage is an option. So if he's a good guy and you don't want to lose him, I would definitely say start considering it. I feel like a 10-year difference maybe to 14 is okay when everybody's of adult age. How old were you when you got together? I was 30. I was in my 30s. Probably my like yeah, I was in my 30s when we got together. And it's a huge age gap. A huge age gap. I heard that that's the same age difference between my parents, 28 years. Yeah, it's huge. And I do. I keep him on the up and up. I keep him hip. I'm with someone 28 years now. He is 17 years older than me. He never talks about marriage. What is the so women in the chat room, like, what is the longest you would spend with a guy who is not mentioning marriage? Like, I'm always curious to know that because that's important to me. Unless you don't want to be married, but if you desire to be married and you're with a man, how long would you stay with a man who's not even speaking about marriage? Because I would only give him 30 days, and that's a long time. And we would have to be having a very good time for me to even spend 30 days with him if that wasn't what he was into. 6 months, yeah, 6 months to a year. Yeah, yeah, 6 months to a year. I think that's you know each other. You seen me with the flu. You know, you seen me with my wig off. We're cool. It's time to start making some decisions up in here. Absolutely. That's a long time. You unless you want to be living like Oprah and Stedman if they're actually not married. I told my husband in the first few months, don't waste my time when we first started dating if he wasn't ready. Yeah. You have to let guys know where you are, and if they're not there, then you have to move on. And Tracy, you're right. There are men out there that will speak about marriage just to keep you around, but they only have so much time to speak about it. They should only have so much time to speak about it before they start, taking some action. It should be some, like I said, there should be some jewelry on a hand. There should be some dates written down in stone. The hall should be reserved, or the justice of the peace. Something. 3 years. I'm young, so I say 3 years, but my boyfriend told me when we first got together he was looking for a wife, but I was 23. I don't think I think there are a lot of people out there that think 23 is too young to be married, but I don't think 23 is too young to be married. Especially not in this day and age. And I think sometimes when we play around with that whole "you got plenty of time" thing, I think we miss out on a lot, because you're gonna be dating, you're gonna be spending your time, hanging out with dudes, raising your body count, and all that type of stuff. Not good. No makeup, no wig, and sick. That's right. Yeah, when you seen all that, we good. We might as well just be stuck with each other for life. 28, fresh out of a 9-year relationship. That's a long time. Yeah, I think yeah, women should be honest with themselves about if they want to be married or not. Absolutely, 100% true. If a man wants to marry you, you will. Wow. Are y'all still here? Yeah, we went like on 2 dates, and he was like, you gonna be my wife, and I was like, now how does someone know that? But yeah. At Heather, a lot of these men aren't being serious, and I don't want to get married just to get divorced. Yeah, divorce is not a good thing, sometimes necessary, but when you get married, it should be forever. All right, hopefully we're back. The last comment I read was about young or older men trying to act young. That I spoke about that in my video. I said that when you're dating a man who is older, you can come up to his level easily and you don't look crazy doing it. You can hang out with his older, more mature friends, you know, you can be around them or whatever. You can do things that he does. But when he comes down to, you know, where you are, he looks crazy. He just looks absolutely crazy doing it when he's trying to be younger than what he really is. Have you ever been asked, is that your father? I have. It's always the funniest thing in the world to me. Whenever people ask that, I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. I think you can look at two people and know, you know, when they're father and daughter and when they're not. So, yeah. why, why God didn't give me the memo. Reading the Tao of Dating for Women. Is that a good book, Heather? I don't think I've ever heard of that. What do you do to keep the marriage exciting, especially during COVID? Um, that's a good question. um, honestly, things I think you just we continue to do the same things that we've always done. There was a point in um the beginning of the pandemic when we were like really like, okay, I mean like hunkered down. Like my husband was not going out to work as much as he should have and or as much as he normally would have. So we were kind of just like here together. I was home and it was so different. It was like, oh my goodness, because we would typically like wake up in the morning like, hey, how you doing? See you later, you know. So, yeah, you just have to still, even despite the fact that I'm home now more than I was previously, I just try to create like my workspace and spend my time in my workspace so it can kind of be like, hey, I missed you, you know. So we're not in each other's faces 24/7. Heather, I stopped taking things personally and thinking that all men were jerks. That is a great point to mention because you know, um, I did the same thing. And you know what I realized when I was thinking all men were jerks? I was a jerk. I was a bigger jerk than they were. And I realized that I was the reason why I couldn't get along in relationships. I was the reason why I could not keep a man. I was the reason why dogs and bad boys were attracted to me because I always hear women say this. Women are always like, "Tell me what should I do to stop attracting dogs?" And it's like, okay, things of like, right? Because that's real. And so when I woke up and I figured that out and I understood that and I was like, "Oh, wait, I'm the jerk here. Like I'm the one with the mess and the one with the mess kept attracting people who had mess, sometimes even more mess than I did." So, yeah. Tabitha, I love this question. Do I think it's healthy for couples to sleep in separate bedrooms? I do. I don't see anything wrong with it. Would my husband ever let me do that? 100% no, he wouldn't. But I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel like I think it would be nice to be like, okay, you come over here on Wednesday. I think that would be kind of cute. You keep it sexy. He never has to see me in my bonnet. he's never gonna drool on my pillow. It's like I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's what are the people's name? June and Ward. They did it. They looked like they had a happy relationship to me. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. Absolutely, you go to your court now. If you're sleeping in separate bedrooms because you're fighting, or because you done kicked him out, y'all just ain't into each other like that no more. No, that's not healthy. That's a problem. Y'all need to be sleeping in separate houses. Cause I know people who are doing that, who are like, I ain't been in the bed in 9 months. But if that is how y'all's home is set up, I don't think there's anything in this world wrong with that. I would love to have my own room. I would love to have a bed in here. Absolutely. June and Ward. Yeah, they slept in separate beds. My aunt told me, and I never knew this. Um, every married couple I know has separate beds. Um, yeah, my aunt, her and her husband are like head over heels in love with each other. They were high school sweethearts, and then they got together later on in life and they got married. They love each other. I never knew that they sleep in separate beds, but because he snores really loud and he falls asleep first. And so she's like, I can't do it. So yeah, I sleep in my room and he sleeps in his room. I'm telling you, I would love to have my own room. Natural Empress, if I have my own room, I'm moving out. Kay Collins. Hey, Kay, my fellow Leo sister. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm here for that. Think about younger guys date older women for a notch on the belt or security. Iyana, I don't know about a notch on the belt, but I'm sure for security. Absolutely. I'm watching um what is it? 90 Day Fiance. That's my guilty pleasure. I love 90 Day Fiance. I don't know why, because I get mad at every single couple that's on there. I'm like, "Are you crazy? Like, what are you doing?" But yeah, there are many examples of that going on. Absolutely. She said her parents still spoon, 49 years married. Not me, because I know my women of a more mature age in here can relate. I'm like, can you get off me? I'm hot. It's hot in here. But yeah, that's rare for people to still be snuggled up. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Is there something wrong with women 40 plus that have never been married? That depends on if they've ever wanted to be married. If they've never wanted to be married, then no, there's nothing wrong with it. But if a woman is over 40 and she's been looking for a husband since she was 19, there's something really wrong with that. DG, exactly. Get off me. I'm having my own personal summer. I need my space. And Tania, have you ever wanted to be married? As long as you've never wanted to be married, I don't see anything in this world wrong with that. Times are crazy. I remember when 20 and 27-year-old ladies were trying to date me. All I could think was, but you're too old. Why? They like them young guys. Of course, definitely like them young guys. There are some amazing men out there. I'm enjoying meeting them and going home. Hey, son. What'd you say? What's the unit? What unit? Yeah, there's some women out there who don't want to marry and who don't want to have children. I think something would be wrong if someone wants to be married and settles just because she wants to be married. Sometimes life just happens that way. Um, that does happen sometimes, but here's the thing. Do you guys think love, do you have to be like madly in love with someone to marry? Love, lust, security. Those are always three things that, three reasons actually that sometimes we fall off the deep end. Love, lust, security. DC Love, my t-shirt says aspire to inspire. And this shirt is actually from a young lady's boutique that sent me a box full of looks that I'm going to be sharing with you guys very soon. Just as soon as I finish working on the video. So it is Maylin and Mahogany is the boutique. Aspire to inspire. I love this shirt. Oh, somebody, Alexa's on beat. What am I drinking? Gentleman Jack. Oh, if I could have one service done for me every day, what would it be? This is a good question. Chef, stylist, hair, makeup, chauffeur. I would have a driver. I would absolutely have a chauffeur. I hate driving. I want to go a million places, but I don't want to have to drive myself there. Yeah. I cleaned my own house. We had a housekeeper, but I don't have a housekeeper anymore. It was just too hard for me to sit back and watch someone clean my house. But I'm thinking about getting another one, though, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I can do everything for myself. So, except drive myself around. I would have a chauffeur. What do you do when guys send confusing messages like being serious and not being serious? Send him a very clear message. Bye-bye. Those aren't confusing messages. That's called playing games. Running game. And game recognize game, as they say. To me, I prefer to be free and happy versus committed and miserable. Committed it doesn't have to mean miserable. It shouldn't mean miserable. Um, it shouldn't mean miserable at all. I hope there's a way to find both love and security. It's possible, but you better decide if you had to choose, which one would you choose? Which one would you choose? Jean says security, then love. Catch 22, I need security. Security, then love. Yeah. Love is subjective and fleeting. Yeah. I'm married at 24. My husband was 24. We're still married. Still sleep in the same bed. It's a California king because I have hot flashes. Niecy Love. Is that you, Nicole? If y'all on here under a different screen name, tell me. I would have a driver too. Yeah. Georgia Perry, what made you want to do YouTube? I think other people told me I should do YouTube, and I was like, YouTube at my age, I don't know. Because I was always like, I would do videos like in the Fragrance Kings a lot. And then I was like, well, I'll try it. And I tried it. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I love it because I get to meet some amazing people. I get to talk to you guys, and I've met some amazing people. Izzy B, yeah, I would have a driver. Absolutely. Alexa said a chef for sure. I don't mind cooking in the winter time. How do I deal with being broken up? It's weird. Brandon, being broken up from a relationship, I'm assuming. Any tips for getting yourself out of a slump? Yes, make goals. Create goals for yourself. Do something different every day. Do something different. It depends on what kind of slump are you in. Is it depression? If it's depression, therapy, talk to someone, prayer. Keisha, I will remarry, but I gave my life to everybody, and now my life is my own. Um, that you know what that was where I was at before I got married again. Um, I was perfectly fine because I was like I gave like my younger brothers, got my time and attention before I should have even been taking care of kids. Then I got in a relationship. Then I had kids of my own. Then I got married and I had kids and so when I was alone after I got divorced, I was like, wow, it's weird having my own time and getting to know like who I really am deep down inside and spending time with myself. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Date yourself, you know? Do I believe in karma? Absolutely. 100%, Brandon. Takesha, I agree. YouTube has helped me like really keep busy as well. As you guys say, I keep you guys busy, watching or, us YouTubers do, but creating content really, it keeps me busy. It really does. And it helps. Sharita Jackson. Thank you. How about doing a workout video? It's a good idea. I'm not doing anything more than like P90X and like Boogie Box and things like that because even though they've opened the gyms back up, I'm scared to go to the gym still. Like, I don't want to go in there and breathe with everybody else. So, between that and just working on all my projects and stuff around the house, that's how I'm just keeping the COVID weight to a minimum. Bass Reeves, too. I have two cheering. Natural impress. The black community needs to be in committed relationships. We must get back to the true meaning of nation building and raising our children in great homes. I wish, I mean, I really wish that there was not so much separation right now. There are so many movements going on right now, like, if you think about it. I mean, and I don't even want to call them movements because some of them are not movements, but just a lot of petty stuff going on. Like the men are going their own way, and the women are on the pink pill, and guys are on the red pill. It's like at the end of the day, I said this in a video before, like we're all responsible for so much of each other's pain. And until the day that we come to the conclusion that as black women, we need to listen to, learn to understand, and appreciate black men, and black men need to do the same thing for us at the end of the day. That's simply what it's about. Does my husband have kids? Yes. Grown kids, though. I was working on weight loss. Any tips for recovering? Give yourself time to heal, but it's gonna be all about that diet until you can move. That's gonna be 97.5% of your focus. As long as you can't exercise, is your diet's gonna have to be on point. And do some chair exercises, whatever you can do. Any and all issues straight to the gym. Yeah, that's usually the place to take issues, but right now the gym, in my opinion, is full of COVID, and I ain't going in there. Alexa's on the beat. Yeah, you gotta eat good. Ti and Tiny mess is just a mess. What's going on with Ti and Tiny? Sometimes I spend as much time as I can ignoring celebrities. What's their problem? I do believe it was security that grew into love. I did love his personality and the way he treated me and my son because we only knew each other for 3 months before he married. He was the one. Yay. Yeah, I haven't seen this Ti and Tiny mess. Like I said, sometimes I don't uh I prefer YouTube personalities over celebrities. I don't know. Have I showed you guys this though? This gonna be a live video exclusive sneak peek. Have you guys seen this? This is Soleil Brûlante. Y'all see that? My lights are on blast in here tonight. This is the newest Tom Ford release. Actually, it was released after Tubaru's New. Actually, I thought someone said on my video that Tubaru's New was available at like Nordstrom's or somewhere. Don't quote me on that. I haven't seen anyone else with it though. Yeah, the bottle is absolutely amazing. Easy love. Oh, thank you. The Harrises are being accused of what? Thoughts on women who are very successful. On why have trouble dating. Um, I think there's a lot that goes into that. There's so much that goes into that strong, independent thing. I don't think that they have trouble dating. I just think that they have trouble. I don't like to use the word submitting, but basically, I mean, that's it. And women sometimes get caught up in thinking that because they're very successful and because, they have a lot of money, then number one, they're supposed to have like a certain type of a man, and that the certain type of a man is he's supposed to, what I should say, put up with certain things, and that's not the way it goes, because one thing that the crazy men are all really 100% right about is that if you're dating guys who are successful, it doesn't really matter if you have like a trash bag full of clothes and 50 cents to your name, or if you're filthy, stinking rich. It doesn't matter to them at all. So, but I don't think that all of them have a hard time dating. I just think there's so much that goes into that. But at the same time, I don't feel like men should try to make women feel like their accomplishments are not amazing. I That's what I don't like to see. Like, yeah, we don't care that you have a PhD, or we don't care. That's an amazing accomplishment, especially for an African American woman. So, you know, it's all about finding the person who is on the same page that you were on at the end of the day. Men can be complete, not compete. Right. A lot of people equate money into being invincible. Right. I thought Angel Share was back in stock. Kate Collins, yes, I will do that on how to put them on correctly. I have many coming up because I'm getting ready to take a break from doing hair videos. I'm gonna take a little break. Vintage, I would say probably Lagerfield. Um, of course, Shalimar. Shalimar would definitely be vintage. I don't know. Is Lagerfield considered to be a vintage fragrance? But I absolutely would say Shalimar because I love that, and I just developed an appreciation for that a few years ago. Correct. You too. Me too. Yeah, but I love Angel Share though. I can't drink Hennessy ever on any given day, but um I do love Angel Share. Am I into Sheepras? Some, yes, absolutely. Everyday makeup. Yeah, Tosh. I have some. I think I have like two, like low maintenance, run out the door makeup videos. This blazer is Oh, this is Brooks Brothers. Brooks Brothers. This is one of my favorite blazers. Civet. I have not tried Civet. I have not tried Civet because I'm just getting my first real serious experience with Civet was Jungle Jezebel. And it has such a strong civet note in it, and it just it smells so horrible to me that like it has to really be just in a fragrance and making everything slightly animalic, slightly, but the name of that fragrance just scares me. I would actually love to purchase B if I could find it. I don't wear makeup, hence the name Natural Empress. I love it. I'm still on no foundation February. February hasn't started yet, but I don't wear wigs, weaves, etc. I'm gonna have to try that. Try Civet from Zoologist. That's actually a house that I really need to dig more into. Yeah, who's joining me in foundation free February? Laquisia, I have not done a handbag video. Every now and again, I will pick up a good one and share it like in my haul videos. I'm not a handbag person, really. And the most expensive, I have never bought an expensive handbag for myself. All the expensive handbags I have, or nice handbags, were gifts. And my husband would usually buy me a handbag for Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. I'm not a bag girl though. I like to have the option of having them, but like I would never buy like a $500 bag. I would go to Walmart. I would get the $20 purse and put the rest of the money in the purse. And then go buy something to put on. No. Yeah, I'm not a bag girl. Shoes, yes. Absolutely. Ooh, Taboo. You know what? I would love to smell Taboo again. I would absolutely love to smell Taboo again. I remember that fragrance. I had an aunt who used to cover herself in Taboo. Let me see what. Yeah, I love clothes. I love shoes, but I can't get into the handbag thing. TJ Maxx for bags. Taboo is intense. Taboo back in the day was like considered beast mode back in the day. Taboo was some heavy stuff. Really heavy stuff. Oh, love mid-20s, focus on school. Dating life. I'd like to change it. Oh, love, you should get out there. You should date. You're 20. You should be dating when you have time to date. I wouldn't make it my main focus, but you should definitely 100% be dating. I need my own talk show. You would sure right now my wallet has a hole. Country gal, you got me obsessed with Oxford. There's nothing like an Oxford, a good Oxford. I'm telling you, I say this all the time, country gal, that I don't. I mean, every now and again I will get a shoe compliment when I'm wearing heels, but it would be from women pretty much, you know. Um, but when I'm wearing like my Angela Scotts or my Carminas, I get so many compliments on those shoes. It's crazy because they're gorgeous shoes. My favorite store to shop for clothes, I don't have one. Just wherever they'll take my money. Wherever they will take it. What notes do I dislike the most? Probably geranium the most. I'm finding I'm not a fan of carnation either. Her sister. Oxfords are chic. Yes, I love Oxfords. You know what? Jan's Child. This is a fragrance that I really need to. I need to just get online and find it and buy it because I keep hearing about Turquatic by MAC. A lot of people say that it's not like you wouldn't expect it to smell as good as it smells. So I need to try that. Takesha, they absolutely still make aromatics. They sell it at Ulta, I believe. Is it? I believe that's yeah. Yeah, Angela's are the business. Yes, I love Angela Scott. Now, she just released her newest line, and I'm sad to say I don't think I really saw anything that I had to have in her newest release. But maybe next time. I love her shoes though. Natural Impress Tresor, yes, that back in the day Tresor, Tresor, um, what's the other? Champagne. I tried to repurchase that. I tried to find it. They don't make it anymore. They changed the name for legal reasons. They changed the name, and then I tried to find the fragrance that they changed the name to, and I could never locate it. So I ended up getting a fragrance oil, and it didn't really do it for me. But I'm telling you, back in the day, champagne was just so good. It smelled just like champagne. Let's see, poison, taboo, champagne. Back here, I still have. I think I have exclamation. I have navy. I have quite a few. Liz Taylor. Oh, Chico's. I didn't know Chico's had Oxfords. I like Chico's. Poison was awesome. Yes, Poison was the very first fragrance I started like stealing from my mom. Covering myself in it, going to school smelling like a grown lady. Then when I got some money, if I would have some money, I could get the um do y'all remember Walgreens and we used to have Osco drugs. They had the impressions of the body sprays like in the tin cans. And I used to get Giorgio Armani. I used to get um Poison. Um Many of them. Whenever I got a few dollars in my pocket. Priscilla, what is my greatest tip for women over 40? My greatest tip for women over 40 would be that it doesn't matter. Like it's okay. Everything is okay. Just be happy as you live as who you are, be you, do you. be the best you can possibly be. Like, I feel the greatest thing about being in my 40s is that I'm not concerned about the stuff I was concerned about when I was in my 20s and when I was in my 30s. You know, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're so worried about what other people are going to say about your stretch marks and what other people feel about your hair and your skin and, oh my god, do I have the right shoes, and does he like my butt, and are my boobs big enough? And then when you get 40, you just like, it's okay. It's what it is. You know, it is what it is. Like, I can't change anything because I ain't going to have surgery. I'm not going to have an elective surgery. If I go to have surgery, it's going to be because the people put me on a gurney and I was out cold and I didn't know nothing about what was going on because I had a serious issue. But I mean, if you can't change it, learn how to love it, deal with it, live with it, and learn that it's okay. You're okay. You're amazing. Somebody will always have something to say. Does your husband buy you fragrances? Never. That's a rule in our house. Ever. Not for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's. No, don't buy me fragrance. Thank you, Priscilla. But LaRue, I'm about to be 40, so that's why I don't care. Yeah, I mean, you can't care. Club 50, you care even less. I can't wait till I hit Club 50 if that's the case. We care even less. You just don't care. It's so freeing though, isn't it? I mean, and that does not say let it all go. That don't say you let yourself go. You, like I said, you be the best you can possibly be. But the things you can't change and you don't have any control over, it is what it is. Why can't he buy you fragrances? Brother Adrian's asking. My husband is not, I buy all his fragrances. And he's really not, now he is way more into it than he ever was before. Because when I first met him, he had Polo Green bottle and that was it. So I buy all his fragrances, but yeah, he's not. He doesn't even like to pick out fragrances. He's like, I don't know what to get. Yeah. Now he'll finance the situation, but he's not gonna go out. If I want a fragrance or something, like if it's gonna be my birthday, I'll say I know what I want for my birthday, and I'll get it. But yeah, he doesn't just go out to the store and pick it out. Cynthia said Club 70 is even greater. I can only imagine. Donna Karen, yes, Donna Karen back in the day. Oh, natural. I'm sorry to hear that. But yes, always keep that bottle of Chanel. Brandon, are you going to work for Lalabo? Hey, Renee. My absolute favorite Killian. Okay, my absolute favorite Killian ever of all time is Back to Black. And my absolute favorite Tom Ford. My absolute favorite Tom Ford now, I would have to say, is Oud Wood. I could definitely say that. I have fallen so deeply in love with Oud Wood. I don't even know what to do. I feel better knowing it's not only my husband that's suck at buying fragrances. Yeah, no. But we have that understanding. It's like, okay, he can't pick them out. But we have kind of got to the point to where my husband said he wants to have as many fragrances as I have. And I was like, how are you going to do that? You know, all the fragrances in the house. So I'm going to be responsible for keeping up with my addiction. And now you have the same addiction too that I'm going to also be responsible for. No. I love oud wood, especially the body oil. Yeah. Oud wood is something, and I love it so much because it layers so well with everything. I mean everything in that private blend line, and it smells good on its own. No, I have never smelled Oud La Rouge by Christian Siriano. A hubby and wife Q&A. No, oh, some Dev, never, never. Um, Someone told me this, and I believe it. Someone said that it's a YouTube curse to bring your spouse on YouTube. You guys would not even be interested. He wouldn't even. He's so oblivious to all of this. He would just be like, "Yeah, okay." It wouldn't be any fun for you guys. Trust me. Yeah. Cynthia, yeah, someone really said that when people do that, they bring their spouse on or whatever. And I'm not superstitious at all. But I'm like, yeah, he would never. YouTube is my thing. Like, I don't go showing up on service calls and stuff with him. Well, I guess if I absolutely have to. But yeah, it's kind of my thing. Izzy B. Ask Izzy B, would you want to see your stepdad on here? Yeah. You see, my son's laughing. He's like, no, Curse don't do it either. Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that you should keep those things private. Like as if I don't share enough with y'all. Y'all know I bear it all, right? My son says she is not lying. It would be painful. We want you to remain married. Yes, absolutely. As long as I can. As long as I can. Extraordinary gal, welcome. Yeah, private is the best way. I think that everyone, like, even like celebrities and stuff, you know, when they start doing reality TV, things like that, and they start putting all their private life all out in the open, then things start going wrong. So, yeah, we'll keep that side of my life private. Devlin, how'd you know? That's exactly who he looks like. Same height, same. No. Idris. That's funny. Yeah, some stuff is only meant for you and not the world. Evil folks love it. Yeah, yeah. I feel that. I've always felt that. Being a newlywed is well, Carabo, it gets better. Hang in there. It gets better. And actually, I would actually say enjoy it while you can. DKNY Be Delicious. Yeah, the little apple fragrances. I just got rid of um nectar. Be delicious the little Be Delicious nectar. I liked that when I first bought it, and then I never wore it, so I got rid of it. At Carabo, what was at Carabo's question? I did answer at Carabo's question. Lovejoy. Yeah, it definitely gets better. All right, Jean, thank you for joining. And I am going to go as well. We have been on here. We have been on here 2 hours. Oh my goodness, almost 2 hours. So I thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. Oh, it was about Love Don't Be Shy. Did you try it? Oh, no, I want to try it. I really do. I want to try it, but I don't want to buy it because typically I would not buy like flankers of stuff that I like. Like Love Don't Be Shy Extreme, but I really want to smell it and see if it's like full bottle worthy. So, yes, I'm definitely I'm going to be trying that. Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. Thank y'all so much for joining me here tonight. And I think I have a fragrance video that I'm going to be uploading later. Thank you guys so much. You're so wonderful. Thank you for taking your time out to watch me and listen to me. I appreciate it more than you guys know. So, have a good night. Everybody be safe. Stay in your house. Don't go out. Good night. Good night, son. Love you.